What I want to talk to you about is, we'll call it A Better Way. And you got to take a look at technology too. A better way often starts with something like someone says, you know what, we have a traffic problem. So some very smart people to get together and they say, we're going to develop something called an easy pass, a way that you get on the highway, you don't wait. Smart people come up with great answers to a better way. You look at an airport. There's a lot of people around an airport. Smart people get together. What do? Really nothing, because we're still all stuck in that. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. If you look in the world of packaging, I think we've seen a better way and some innovation over a number of years. Some ways to take a 100-year-old package and improve it to improve the customer experience. Again, a 100-year-old package. And what's interesting here is you look at something that might sell for $2 a gallon, now sells for $100 a gallon. It's the same product. It's the exact same product. The only difference is the package. Again, this has been to get some airtime, but the classic Campbell soup, a new on-the-go, answers people's need for portability, and clearly have done some nice innovation there. And even the whole experience of packaging, of mess. We talk a lot about sustainability, a lot of things what packaging needs to do. I think it's been pretty clear to us, people really want convenience. They also want to eliminate mess. So I think overall there's been some tremendous innovation in the world of packaging. Again, this whole idea of on-the-go has been a key area. And no need to dirty a spoon if you can just have a direct-to-mouth package has also been, and I think Sal's going to talk about this type of package later on. But clearly some innovation in the world of packaging that a little over 5% is the number that a McKinsey study says the number of new products launched over a 5-year period that are considered innovative. So that's a pretty small number overall. If you continue to look at another number, the number 3, this is an interesting one that the number of top 10 R&D spenders that are also on the list of the 10 most innovative companies. So what might that tell you? The people that spend the most in R&D don't necessarily deliver on the most innovative products. An interesting other stat that we came across is 7 times. And that's the return on R&D investment from companies with considered robust open innovation capabilities versus those with weak capabilities. So it's clear the companies delivering the greatest new products, the new innovative products to the marketplace are doing it beyond just their own R&D investment. Again, I think it's kind of an overused word, but we talk about partnerships and et cetera, but there's another business model that I want to talk a little bit later on. So we know there's a tremendous need in the marketplace, especially in packaging, for innovation. And I think at the risk of being overhyped, this whole term of open innovation has clearly got some legs in the market right now. And this idea that all the best minds aren't in your building. I don't know if you know Phil DeRuyter out of Belgium. He's got another company called Ideal Labs. But he kind of said it pretty well. He just said, you know, companies really don't have a chance. The pace of change is rapid, and this one here, no firm can hire all the best people. Well, of course, we all know that. We all know that logically. But open innovation is here to stay. If you go to the websites of a lot of CPGs, some of which are in this conference, every single company that we can find in the CPG space is saying, bring us your ideas, bring us your innovation. You know, whether it be Clorox, I mean, of course, P&G has a good mature process called Connect and Develop. But even like Heineken has the idea brewery. Bring us your new idea for beer. You know, Starbucks as well as General Mills. Everybody is saying, bring us your new innovation. Kraft has something called the Collaboration Kitchen. So a lot of these companies that we all know are reaching to the outside for new products. Back around 6 months ago, I was calling some senior R&D executives at CPG firms to really say, you know what, there's a lot of press out there. It looks like there's a lot of great progress on working with outside individuals and companies on new innovation. How's it going? How's it going? So this was a direct quote. And This person said, 10 years ago, I'd give us an F. We still talk about it 10 years ago, but I'd say it was an F. 5 years ago, we might get a D minus. Today, while the outside world might think we're great at it, I'd give us a C minus. So I still think it's a little bit nirvana that outside innovation is working well, people have great processes for it, and products are getting on shelf. You know, again, a C minus is something probably if our kids came home with that, we'd say, can you work a little harder? And I think that's what this, you know, she went on to say, we're still not very good at it, but at least the trend's in the right direction. And I think it is. I think there's a lot of optimism that it's going to work, but the idea of going outside for new innovation and getting products on shelf hasn't been easy for anybody. I'm going to take a small tangent here, and it's probably a little bit unrelated to this conference, but I think what's interesting is just what's happening in the world on innovation. And it used to be that, as a rule, an inventor needed a company, needed a global CPG or some company to get their idea to market, no individual. And I give Jason a lot of credit for taking a product, his innovation, but that's a rarity. A lot of people are not going to have the ability, the capability, or even the, you know, the risk-taking ability to bring their product to market. But what's now is, I think the new way is it's happening with or without you. How many people are familiar with Quirky here? So a few. So Quirky is a design development firm in New York City. You bring them your idea, and they'll develop it. They'll invest in the discovery, the design, the development. They'll tool it up, and they pay a royalty. Any inventor. So this guy here, he comes up with a pretty interesting surge protector. He's made close to $400,000. He had an idea. So there was a way to, there is a new business model to do that. Are more people familiar with Kickstarter, I would imagine? How many are familiar with Kickstarter? Okay, maybe half. So I think this is interesting that this guy, his name is Martin, he has this idea called a porthole, which is something where it's a vessel to mix cocktails or oils or teas. And he said, you know, I have a goal. I don't know if you can see this, but he says, I have a goal. If I can get $28,500, I'll develop the product. You know, pledge 10 bucks and you'll get a free one. So he ended up with $736,000 for his idea, and almost 4,300 people backed him. So I think there's a different way now. I think you know, the old way where inventors needed companies to get their products to market, again, maybe less applicable to packaging, but still there are new ways for companies to and for people to get their ideas out there. So open innovation, probably on the brink of being overhyped, that it's the save-all for innovation, but it's clearly a way to the future, I think, in new products. A little bit of my background was more on developing these products and just giving the designs back to our client and say, I hope it works out well, we'll help you any way we can, but they usually took it. A few years ago, a number of years ago, and maybe you saw some samples, we had this thing that said, you know what, the cotton swab is a pretty bit ubiquitous product out there. We all kind of use it at some point or another. And you kind of look around, and we did some research, we said, you know what, it's used for ears, but it's used for makeup, and it's used for who knows what, for nail, or that's a guitar down there. It's also used in, you know, big ears or small noses. And if you go on the internet and you look at Q-tips, you see weird things that people also do with Q-tips that you just don't really want to know. You know, you guys, come on. And but we also realize that there's people are portable now. We all talk about this on the go. It's been kind of a dialogue at this conference. And when people travel, I think we all traveled with a cotton swab in the same traveling on-the-go device, and it was baggy, and that's why most people traveled with them. So we said, you know, we think there's a solution here, and we designed and developed a solution for an on-the-go cotton swab case. So if you have a good solution for on-the-go cotton swab, who would your first call be to? We looked and we said, okay, there's a lot of brands out there, so who's the first one you want to talk to for your cotton swab product? It's Unilever. Unilever owns the Q-tip brand and has for many years. So that was our first stop. I mean, after Q-tip, I don't know who's the next cotton swab. There isn't one, really, right? So we developed a line of packages, and we spent a lot of time on it to make sure that, does anybody have this travel case for, okay, good, all right, don't refill it. I know you can refill it. Okay, I'm just kidding. So, but it is refillable. When you close it, there's a little audible click to know it's closed, it's crush-proof, and it keeps your cotton swabs clean. And Unilever, I give them a lot of credit. They said it's a great idea. We'll take all comers. And what we noticed was those clients that, or those customers that say, you know, bring us your ideas. There are other ones that aren't quite so open on that. And we'll talk about that in a minute. If you go to the Unilever website, or the Q-Tip website, it's front and center. And it's really opened up, a nice thing for them, it's opened up another place in the store for them. Again, I think someone, I don't know if it was Frito-Lay or someone was talking about they have that gondola. But the fact is, if you can get more facings in the store, all the better. And this obviously gave Q-Tip a different facing in the store. So what's interesting is to me is I think open innovation, it is a better way. It's a better way to get new products in the market. And what I've noticed is there's probably 5 things. I've been involved in this open innovation space for a number of years now. And it was something I also did when I was at this company, Radius. And there's 5 things that we've noticed. Where does it work? And the first 3 are pretty obvious. It's kind of like, you know, how do you lose weight? Well, you got to eat less, you got to exercise more. Okay, yeah, we know that, all right? And, but it's a little harder to do than that. So what we find, here's the big 3, and they're obvious, we know what they are. You need top-level commitment, you need a process to find and capture, how do you commercialize these ideas? And we all know if people have no incentive to do well at this, if you don't measure it, you know, it's not going to move ahead. But what's interesting is one of these is wrong, we've come to realize. And the fact is, every organization that we've talked to, large organization, the people at the very top clearly embrace this idea of open innovation. They embrace it, and there is top-level commitment. So we kind of crossed that out and said, you know, the companies where it works is where there's more mid-level commitment. Because we find there isn't always commitment at that level. So we said, so these are the kind of 3 key things that we've noticed need to happen in order for open innovation to work in an organization. The other one is a little more obscure, but we've noticed that where companies can leverage innovators with deeper capabilities. And what do we mean by that? Every product, as we know this, it comes through ideation, there's going to be some development. You're going to get startup production, you're going to launch the product. I think a lot of people look at open innovation and dealing with outside partners as this upfront. You know, just all we need is a good idea. We need the good ideas. And again, what we do is what other organizations do. We spend a lot of time with consumers, with discovery. We do a lot of one-on-one interviews, ethnography, and really understanding what, you know, it's not just us making up products. We have to make sure that they're vetted out through a process with consumers. But that's one piece of it, is the idea. What we found is there's more success is when the engagement, you can deal with, a CPG firm can deal with companies that can develop it and help some along the way. I am positive there would be no Q-Tip travel case in the marketplace if we didn't have the ability to design it and develop it, to do tooling to get it started, and to show a proven product and deliver on it. That just wouldn't have happened because we all know these CPGs thinned out a lot of their ranks on design development people, and they need to rely more on the outside. And it's clear that it never would have seen the light of day had they not engaged with an organization. Yeah, okay, we're biased, it was us. But the fact is to be able to do it and more than just an idea and then throw it back to the organization. So we found that this is a big one. We also found that those organizations that really focus on the logic, I'll call it the logic over the legal. And we all know those firms that are run by legal, and we know those that are run by logic. And sometimes they're not the same. Often they're not the same. And so we have found that it's incredibly difficult for those companies that, you know, if legal is between the CEO, the top management, and everybody else, you kind of know where that's going to fall. And it's going to run the business, and often it will kill it. Those organizations where logic rules over legal, we've just noticed more open innovation is successful there. So these are kind of the 5 things that we've noticed for those organizations that are focused on new products and leveraging open innovation to get there. And we believe and we're convinced those that adopt this will have a better way forward